Hopefully I'm sounding a little better. I think I'm sounding a little better. I can move my tongue a little bit more. Um, Today was a pretty good day. I was at work and I noticed my tongue was moving more. So hopefully not too much more of this BS, which will be good. But I still have a little bit of a list, so I'll just, apologize for that. If you're new to the channel and you're just seeing this, I had a seizure about 10 days ago, and I bit really bad into my tongue and inside my cheeks. So it just took a little while to heal. Turns out I also have a concussion, and I still have it. Just when I thought my luck couldn't get any worse, I find out I must have hit my head pretty hard, and then also get this concussion from it, and then still have it now, 10 days later. So what's up? Afternoon. Oh, how's it going, Swindle? I don't really have anything. I'm currently watching Jurassic Park. Oh, what a great movie. That's a great American film right there. I love Jurassic Park. I don't have a lot to talk about tonight, so it might not be a long stream. I don't really feel too good, so that may be another reason I don't do this for very long. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I appreciate it. There was a couple topics I want to talk about because we just haven't in a while, and that's kind of what Venom Vlog Live is that I get to talk about these things with you guys. And so these are more conversations. I don't really have visuals or anything that pops up. It's just kind of me talking to you guys live. Thank you for the 2 thumbs up, by the way. So the topics tonight, I figure if anyone wants to speculate a little bit on Morbius and maybe guess when we might get another trailer or if it's going to come out on time or whatever, we can talk a little bit about Morbius. Then we can also talk a little bit about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and when you guys think we'll probably get some information about that. I'm thinking fairly soon, but that's also up to Sony on deciding when they're going to release the movie. What's up, Swordsman? How's it going? And then the other thing I want to talk about is Zeke, what's up? A Ghetto ASMR shout you out on his live yesterday. Ghetto ASMR, really? I'll have to check that out. Will you send me a link to that? Are we friends on Instagram? They shout me out. Why they do that? Do they watch my show? I didn't know that. Hey, F91, what's up? I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, send me a link. That's really nice. I'm scared that Morbius is going to fail due to its being based on a character that may be unknown to people unless you're a Marvel fan. I mean, yeah, my mom know who Morbius is, but I tell my mom, I said, I shouldn't really be that impressed by that because I am your son. So my mom probably knows a lot about a lot of stupid shit that moms might not normally know about. Tariq, how's it going? Hey, hope all is well with you physically and mentally. I listen to your vids at work. How big of a role do you think Avi had in Venom Let There Be Carnage? Do you think he gave a lot of creative freedom? What's up, Tariq? That's very nice of you. I'm glad you enjoy my stuff at work. Someone told me that the other day, too. My friend John, he showed up and gave me a nice gift. He got me a Publix gift card for $30. And we go to Publix, and it's so funny. We are grocery shopping because it was nighttime. I couldn't drive. So he gave me the gift card and drove me to get groceries, which was really nice of him. And we get up there, and as we're shopping, I'm doing the math in my head, and I'm putting things back and taking things and putting things back. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I need a vegetable oil that's 60 cents cheaper, at least 60 cents cheaper." So I keep putting things back, and it must have been driving him crazy a little bit, but I don't think he knew what I was doing. And then we get to the register, and we ring up, and my total is exactly $30. And to be fair, I think I freak him out a little bit. To be fair, I thought it was going to be $30.01. So I thought I was going to have to borrow a penny from him or put a penny on my credit card. But luckily, it was $30 even. So my math was a little bit off. But thank you for listening to me at work. But so does John. John listened to me at work the other day, too. So that means a lot. Do I think Aubrey... That's a big question because we talked about a new producer coming on to this movie named Hutch Parker, I think. And he's a new producer on this movie, but he wasn't on the previous Venom movie. But he had done other movies with Sony and with Avi Arad. So I think, maybe Avi bring him in to be a yes man so that Avi has an extra voice to So when he says, "Hey, I want this to happen," he could have another producer say, "Yes, I want that to happen too." Sometimes producers will do that. They'll hire someone else who will say agree with them, so they can outvote somebody on some decisions. So I think maybe Hutch Parker do that, but also Hutch Parker make movies without Avi Arad. So we did ask that question. We asked if Hutch Parker was someone who was going to come in, and if he was a hands-on producer, or if he was there for like a vote with Avi, or if he did some other angle. Producers are different. Not every producer does the same thing. So I don't know what Hutch does. So it's hard for me to speculate. So I don't know. I also think maybe Hutch is there in Avi's place, maybe, or it could just be another physical body on set. Because when I went to the filming of it in San Francisco, there was a lot of producers there. There was a lot of people there. I was blown away. There was like outside of this restaurant, all of them lined up and they were all talking to each other. And there must have been like 13 people where I was like, are all these producers like, they're all behind the scenes people, but they didn't have like a specific task like makeup or or extras, or they were unknown variables to me, so I didn't recognize half of them. So I don't know, we'll see. I guess I don't have an answer to your question, I'm sorry to say, but I hope creative freedom is given. Because the first movie do so well, usually that means sometimes studios will back off. They'll say, hey, you got to make the movie at this time with these people. But the day-to-day things, they might back away. They're like, hey, you made these choices last time and it worked out. And Venom was a massive success. So I hope Avi backs off. But I don't know, to be honest with you. And I don't know, just because some people don't like Avi doesn't mean he only has bad ideas. I learned that recently with Into the Spider-Verse. Some people say Tom Rothman, who runs Sony, they say that they don't like working with them and that they found them unprofessional. But then if you ask the guys who make Into the Spider-Verse, they said they really like Tom Rothman and that he came up with a couple really good ideas that they put into the movie of Into the Spider-Verse. And that was a great movie. So I never really like to say one person is the sole reason bad things happen, because that's never the case. And it also comes down to personal preference. If you like something, I might not. And if I like something, you might not. So I think Avi just does his best. He wants certain things done his way. But outside of that, I think he probably sits back and just lets you do your thing. And then if he doesn't like it in the editing room, maybe he'll interfere with it there. But I don't know. I've not really heard a lot of people say they don't like working with Avi. Just some things like rumors that got out there. But at least people I've talked to that have worked with them never really say anything bad about them. Haven't seen you in a while. Siike, good to see you. Hey, Venom Gaming, what's up? Welcome back. I got into contact with Marvel today after I got issue 31 instead of 30. Apparently the pandemic is causing the mailing to get messed up. That sucks, Swordsman. So now you're missing an issue of Venom. That sucks. Luckily, I think that issue is part of the Venom Beyond story, so you could still get that, because I think the King and Black issues are selling out. But the Venom Beyond, you should be able to still get that one, hopefully. He takes on his live because he gets a lot of trolls, but he doesn't do social media because if people want him to commit suicide. So he goes by email only. I can send it to you. He took down his live because he gets a lot of trolls. That sucks. He sounds nice. Ghetto ASMR. That's a cool name. I don't know if I know their channel, but why did they shout me out? That's nice of them to do that. Does he watch the show? So he goes by email only. I can send it to you. Yeah, if you want to send me his email, just DM it to me on Instagram, at Venom Vlog. If we don't already follow each other, let me know. So I had a bad incident yesterday on Instagram. Someone make a troll account and pretend to be my mom, and I do not like that. That's the one thing. I know sometimes I give opinions on things and people don't like me for those opinions, even though my opinions are pretty harmless. I just talk about Venom, but sometimes on Instagram, I might post something political. I try not to. I really do try not to. But sometimes I feel like I need to say something, and it makes people mad. So someone create an account and pretend to be my mom, and that is off limits to me. Like, I do not like people going after my family. It's such a coward move. So I got really mad yesterday. I got so mad. And thankfully, a lot of you guys reported that fake account. So I think it's going to be taken down soon. But it just really just pissed me off. So yeah, so yesterday I get mad and I went and deleted like 1,000 followers because I realized, man, I have all these followers, 2,500 followers, and I didn't know most of them. And I said, when you start letting in too many people, this kind of stuff happens. And I kind of like to keep my family private because they mean the world to me. So I thought that was a really nasty thing that someone would do. So I went through and just deleted most people that I don't know. So if I accidentally deleted you, I'm sorry. Just send me a friend request with a message and I will re-add you. So I apologize. But I was just in a bad mood yesterday because of that. And I'm sorry to hear about his people telling him to commit suicide. That sucks. As someone who has tried to do that before, I don't like that. When people say kill yourself, I don't like that. That sucks. Padilla, what's up, dude? How's it going? Nice haircut. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I had to shave it because I had to see the damage done to my head after I had my seizure. So I had to shave my head. I was surprised he said your name. I can't believe anyone even on YouTube knows me. Usually people who know me, like Thinking Critical and who was the other one? Dave, the film junkie. Some of these people that know me, it's only because I comment on their videos. They never really find me. I always just comment a lot on their videos. And sometimes I just comment enough that where they go, hey, this guy has a logo. I'll go see what he does. And then they go, oh, he has a channel. Oh, cool. But yeah, so I don't think any other YouTubers watch me unless I comment on their videos all the time. So since I don't know this account, I'm curious. I want to watch their videos. I want to make sure I subscribe to them. So send me a link of their email and send me a link to their channel. I kind of hope Venom 2 introduced Beck Underwood or Ashley Kafka as a love interest for Eddie. Maybe through them we could explore Eddie's character. I mean, that's true, but I think they're going to probably focus on the Anne Wang story first, and they probably won't throw any wrenches in like that. They'll probably just focus on Anne Wang. But that would have been cool. If Beck Underwood is still at least a character in the movie, or Ashley Kafka is, that would be good. What's up, Slipknot fan? How's it going? Yeah, Swordsman. That's cold when it involves your family. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. If you don't like me, that's fine. My mom and my brother, they have enough problems as it is. They don't need that. Because my mom already worries about me as it is, so she knows the way I'm talking right now and the concussion I still have. Like, she's already worried about me. So to see something like that on top of an already stressful week when we have, I don't want to get into politics of it, but everything that happened in Washington this week, like, I don't like that stuff. It hurts to see people treat people badly. I don't react well to it. So when I see these people and I see that people die, I get really upset. It doesn't matter what side of politics you're on. I don't care. I don't like seeing people get hurt like that, and in scary situations like that. So I started having a reaction to that, and I couldn't sleep. And then on top of everything, we get this troll account. So it was just bad timing, but it really made me mad. I got really, really mad. See, there's a guy on Instagram who did a really well done Spider-Man show concept called GJK Central. He wrote arcs and fan cast of the characters, and it was really well done. Send me a link to that. Follow me on Instagram? Send me a link at Venom Vlog. I like checking that out. I can do it on one of your videos. Yeah, do that. Just put a link. Just comment on one of my videos with a link to his channel, and I'll check it out. People can be terrible. Yeah, some people suck. That's just the end of that for sure. How's it going, Swordsman? Hey, King Nova, what's up, dude? He cast Oliver Jackson Cohen as Eddie, and he was my favorite character in the series. Nice. That's good casting. Fan OKF a bit frustrated. I'm sorry you're frustrated, Swordsman. I'm so sorry, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Slipknot. I hope you are too. What's up, Gurren Lagann Boy? What's up? That's a cool name. Drake, what's up? How's it going? I just got here. Welcome. So the topics we're talking about is, let's see. We can talk a little bit about Morbius. If you have any questions about Venom 2, we can talk a little bit about that. And then at the end of this episode, we'll talk a little bit about Gorr the God Butcher joining the MCU. I want to talk a little bit about that. I didn't really want to at first, but then I reread it recently because I'm doing a new Thor podcast with my friend Alex called Whoever Be Worthy. so that'll probably come out in February. Um, and I'm waiting for my voice to sound better before I record it. But we already have the first few episodes planned out, and we're going to go through the Jason Aaron run of Thor. So I reread it recently. I said, this guy just joined the MCU. A lot of fans are speculating that he might tie into Venom. I don't think they're going to do that at all. The symbiote thing, I don't think they're going to do that at all. But I could be wrong. But I still feel like maybe we could talk about that. So this was an episode. This episode we're doing right now was requested by Eddie's Mullet. Guy, not boy. What? Oh, sorry. It says guy. Did I say boy? I'm so sorry. So I have this light in my eyes. Ever since I had my concussion, the light has been bothering me. So I'm not really, I kind of reading things and I'm kind of not. So I'm sorry if I mess up your name. I'm really sorry. Just correct me like you did. The Gurren Lagann guy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to say your name wrong. Every YouTuber knows Siike. Most of are too jaded to acknowledge his greatness. What's up, Eddie's Mullet? So Eddie's Mullet requests this episode. Dame the Film Junkie's a good guy. Yeah, there's sometimes I don't agree with him, but I do like him. He's a really nice guy. Always been super nice to me. And because we disagree on stuff with the Snyder stuff, he's still nice to bring me on his show and give my opinion, which is really nice. Not a lot of people do that. So I love Dave. He's awesome. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I like watching his channel. Home Alone for the weekend, cooking dinner. Oh man, well don't cook it all and eat it all, man. Have a good time. It's just the Marvel sub plus the crazy political things affecting me a bit. I mean, it's hard not to get upset by it. I know it is tough. It's hard not to have a thought or a reaction to that. No matter what side you're on, I can imagine it's tough. So I'm a Democrat, but I can imagine being a Republican right now is probably really tough. Actually, I was just thinking about that today. I have a friend who's a really intense Republican. Like he's a really intense one. And he's not like a casual Republican. Like I'm kind of a casual Democrat. He's kind of a really intense Republican, but I love talking to him. He's such a nice guy. And he was kind of torn up. I don't know. I guess he's starting to, I don't know. He's going through something, but so I didn't pry too much, but I could tell something was bothering him, and he tried to tell me, but he couldn't really put it into words. And I tell him, I said, it's fine. I said, take some time. I said, process it. And I'm always here, man. I'm a friend. You just always talk to me. I'll just listen. Sometimes when friends tell me they have a bad time, I don't even say anything. I just say, look, I'm just going to sit here and I'm not going to say anything. You just tell me the whole thing. Just get it off your chest. I think if we do that to more friends, I think we'll probably fight each other a lot less. As you know, Siike, I'm waiting for Morbius. I'm dying for Venom too. Yes, Morbius, some people speculate it might not come out on time, that we're like 2 or 3 months away from it right now, and no new trailer. Oh, we did get a trailer recently in December, but it was pretty much the first trailer, just re-edited. So I don't know. I don't know anything about Morbius. It's funny. Some people think I know all these behind the scenes things, but there has been like 1 or 2 times someone asked me, hey, do you want to like leak something or put something out there? And I tell them no. I say, I'm not a scoop person. I'm not a leak person. I just like seeing the news when it comes out. If it comes out through channels like Variety or so like a big publication, not like a small website like a We Got This Covered or the Direct or one of those. Like those websites suck. Or CBR, like all those websites suck. So I don't really go off news that come from them. I try to wait for a big publication to talk about it. So for me, I like doing that because then that means I'm on the same page with you guys. We learn the news at the same time. I'd rather do that. I tell them, I said, no, just give that shit to someone else. I don't care. They're like, well, it could make your channel bigger. I'm like, I don't really give a shit because then I have to make those videos all the time. People will expect me to scoop something else or leak something else, and I just don't make that kind of that stuff. How great was Venom 2 trailer we got at Christmas? I know, I say that. Everyone, thank you for the 9 thumbs up, by the way, everybody. Everyone say, oh, December. Ever since like March of last year, people say, December, Venom trailer, December, Venom trailer. And I'm like, where are you getting this from? Like, there's no plans for Venom trailer right now. And then boom, like it's now January with no Venom trailer. So I hate to say I told you so, guys, but like, you know me, if I feel like there's something to talk about, I'll dance around it a little as like a precursor. But you'll know. I'll start ramping up. Even without a tongue, I will come on and make a video trailer reaction to it. So, but hopefully we'll get one soon. They just got to figure out if it's actually going to come out. I think as more vaccines get out there, and hopefully more stimulus gets out there, that could help build the economy back up. I know people are against all that. Like, they're like, oh, it's socialist to give people money. I'm like, it's not socialist to help people out 1 or 2 times. That's not socialist. Most of us help our friends out 1 or 2 times. And most of that money can come right back to us. Most of us pay that in taxes and stuff anyway. And I know that goes to other departments and stuff, but it's like, I don't see the harm in helping out people personally, but some people do. So, but I think, if people do get that, then that's, and to get vaccines, and that's faster. That helps kickstart people going out and doing things again. So I hope by April or May at the latest that people are going back on the theaters again. That might not bode well for Morbius, but that could still bode well for Venom. So we'll see. See, can you say hello to my friends Mandy, Cece, Lua, Kathy, Vincent, and Gabe? Sure. Did I say all their names right? How do I say, what's her name? Lihua? Is it Liwa? Hopefully I'm saying that right. But Mandy, Cece, Kathy, Vincent, Gabe, and you tell me how to say her name. And all of you guys, I hope you're doing very well. Happy New Year. I cannot wait for Insomniac's take on the Black Suit Spider-Man and Venom, and it's okay, man, no problem. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry I messed up your name. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those too. We'll probably see those, soon, probably. I'd like to talk Venom 2 with you guys. Yeah, let's do it, Drake. Hit us up. Do you see that there's even a dark version of the MCU coming, since Venom 2 might be rated R? The speculation with Tom Holland. Venom 2 is not going to be rated R. There's no speculation on that. There's nothing. You're completely wrong. Tariq, I'm sorry. There's no plans for Venom to be rated R. Venom 2 will be rated PG-13, most likely. I'm 99% sure of it. So you'll see that whenever they release the trailer, it'll probably have the rating on it. Or they'll probably, probably the trailer. Normally they separate that, but I think the movie's going to be done editing at some point. They already have a composer. They usually bring a composer in when they have a cut of the movie, and the composer has already worked on the music for some time, and now they can go into the studio and watch the movie and perform the music over the movie. So I think we'll be getting stuff soon, as long as they still plan to release it on time. Sorry, Daniel, your message got retracted. I'm sorry. I don't know what it said, so I'm so sorry. Oh, and thanks for 11 thumbs up. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I did expect them to bring Steve Rogers back to life. Did not expect him to. Yeah, that's true. I'm connecting dots from MCU and the comics that leads to me believe Null could be appearing. I know a lot of people say that, but I mean, I don't know. Null's a newer character. The thing is, Venom doesn't really have a rogues gallery for the most part. So it would be easy to bring in Null. But like I say, someone in the first movie had to send Venom and Riot and those symbiotes to Earth. Well, they didn't send them directly to Earth. They sent them out into space to find life. And a spaceship with John Jameson as the pilot, a shuttle, found them and brought them to Earth. So Riot was trying to get into a spaceship at the end of the movie and go back to his home planet and tell someone that they found life so they can invade it. So I imagine that's going to be the overall theme in the Venom movies, is that it's going to be trying to lead some kind of invasion to Earth. And I guess it makes sense that they just make Null the bad guy. I mean, so you'll probably see that. But I don't know if it'll be the same type of Null that's from the comics. He might look the same, but I don't know if he'll have the same origin or not, maybe. I posted a link to Instagram handle on your last video. All right, thank you. I'll look into that. Siike's the Flex Seal of Venom information, no leaks. Yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, I have a friend named Gene who I talk to almost every day sometimes. He's also a brain aneurysm survivor like me, and we talk every day, and he cannot get any information out of me. He gets so pissed off. He's like, how are you this good at keeping secrets? I said, first of all, I don't know much of anything, really. But sometimes you get a little piece of something that you're like, maybe I just should not tell anyone this. No one tell me to not tell anyone. It's not like someone emailed me and said, here's some juicy stuff. It's not that at all. I just sometimes I dig a lot. I know how to do research and stuff. So I'll dig and find some things sometimes, and I go, I don't know if I should say this right now. So I sit on it. So yeah, that's all. It's not like a Sony. No one at Sony, I think, even knows. Some people at Sony do know who I am, but I don't think they don't really care. They know I don't really do anything that rocks the boat or is controversial, so they don't really pay attention to me, I think. Spider-Man Limited is underrated and needs a remake. Oh, there you go. It's great that Sony is committed to the theatrical release, but surely this means Morbius will be delayed, and Venom is set on Halloween. Venom 2 is set in around the time of Halloween. That is true. There's a carnival scene in the movie. It's called like the Carnival of the Dead, and people are dressed in Halloween costumes. So yes, they filmed some of that, and some of the extras in the second movie when we were there when they were filming in San Francisco, some of the extras were dressed in Halloween costumes. So yes, I think there is a Carnival of the Dead scene in the movie. So I think that's around Halloween, maybe. I pray Venom Let There Be Carnage doesn't get delayed again. We've waited long enough. I hope not either. I hope they plan to still release it. I think it's supposed to come out June 25th or somewhere around there. That's plenty of time, in my opinion. We got 6 months. But I think the main reason they're sitting on Morbius right now is because they just want to see how quickly movie theaters open. And I think they're going to wait till the end of January to figure out if they should still release Morbius in March or not. And I feel like if they push it back, they'll probably push it back like a month or something to May, like after Black Widow comes out, but like a month before Venom. And they might say, hey, we're going to push it back till the end of May, but here's a trailer for it, a new trailer with new footage. So that could be something they do as a backup. We'll see, though. I don't know. But I know nothing about Morbius. That's why I'm so kind of intrigued by it. How many vaccines are out right now? Not enough. I think they said they were supposed to release like 20 million by the end of today or something, and they only released like 1 million or something. I don't know. They're like way behind in the U.S. anyway. I don't know about other places. Honestly, I'm fine with waiting. It gives more time for the people working on the film to polish it. That's what I'm saying. Andy Serkis is a king of motion capture and stuff. So I am really interested to see how Venom and Carnage look in this movie. And if Venom looks a little different, I'm really anxious to see what they change on him. I hope they do a scene in this movie like Venom the Madness, where he gets extra heads that come out. I really want to see that scene in a movie. I also want to see an anti-Venom scene in a movie. And I also want to see She-Venom come back in this movie. So hopefully we get all that. Li Hua. Okay, Li Hua. So thank you, all of you, all of Slipknot's friends. There's your shout out. So thank you. Thank you for not, someone make me do a shout out one time where I said something not good. They got me good. They trolled me and they got me really good. It made me laugh so hard. I remember I said a really bad word. So thanks for telling me to say normal names, because last time I said something really bad. Especially since small businesses are dying right now and right and left right now. We need that $2,000 stimulus. That's the thing. It's like that's where my focus is. I've been working in retail. I've worked in comic books. I've worked in movies and all these things. Every industry is hurting on some level, and retail big time, because either there's like protests or riots in their neighborhoods and they're smashing their windows and all that's happening, or they're a comic book store and comics have been suffering in sales last year. Or there's like 1,000 reasons why businesses are hurting. They have to be closed. I think California got shut down for like the third time recently. Like, it's just so tough. I feel bad. And so like, yeah, that money could have helped kind of kickstart a little. It's I don't know. I think 2,000 actually is not enough for some people. But when I say that, people think I'm some kind of socialist. I'm like, this is just to help people one, maybe two more times. That 600 wasn't enough. Like me, look what happened to me. I have a seizure last week. I bite into my tongue and my cheeks. I get a concussion. I can't work for like 6 days. And I had to quit my job at Lego because I can't drive at nighttime now. And that's where I work at Lego, mostly with nighttime, because it was my second job. So but if you ask like some of these senators, they'll say, oh, well, you have a job, so you don't need stimulus money. I said, well, I used to work a 40-hour-a-week job where I made like, a lot of money an hour, like with Lego back in California. And I said, but now I work like 25 hours a week at Harley, and I make half of what I used to make at Lego. But my rent is still about the same I paid in California. And then I have my medical stuff on top of that. I don't have insurance anymore, medical or health insurance like I did when I was at Lego. And so, no, I'm sorry. Like 25 hours a week is not enough for me to survive. And yeah, I do need, I could really use that money. And there's people that need it way more than me. So even if I didn't get it and they did, at least I would know someone's being helped. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just want to help people. And that just seems like the easiest way to do it. I don't know. But some people yell at me when I say that. Nor should it ever be rated R. Amen, brother. To make Venom a 2 rated G. Yes, right. It will be rated G. It'll be rated G. Yeah. Thanks for saying hello to my friends. You're very welcome, man. You got nice friends, and you are a good friend. I hope they focus on Carnage being the new big bad instead of doing Null. We could get Maximum Carnage adaptation now they're connecting the MCU. I mean, yeah, that's true. I would rather a Maximum Carnage movie with all the heroes fighting Carnage than a Null story. But like I said, someone had to send Riot and everyone to Earth. So I think they've already kind of set up the potential for something back on Clintar to come to Earth. Whether it's Null or not, I don't know. But, we'll see. I guess we'll see what they do in the next movie. Because Avi Arad did say the next movie will still have some threads of an invasion storyline in it. And that makes sense to me because there's a whole planet of aliens out there waiting for Venom and Riot and everybody to come back and report what they found. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how they touch on that next movie. Yeah, don't spoil it. I'm sorry. Do you think there's a cut of Venom 2 already done? Yes, there is. There has to be because they have it's probably like an assembly cut or something like that because they have the composer Marco Beltrami has already been chosen, which means he's already been working on the music for a while now, and now they'll pretty soon go record it. Remember when Morbius, they announced the person composing Morbius? Morbius was supposed to come out in July of last year, and then July, August, September. I think in September they announced the composer. So we make a video on that. So that shows us that they're about 3 or 4 months behind than where they were. So where the movie was supposed to come out, they weren't even ready to compose it yet. So that's why the movie get pushed to March, so they can compose it and have like a month or 2 to work on that, work on some more cuts of the movie, and then have it ready by end of February for a March release, probably. Same with Venom. So Venom, they just announced the composer in December, at the end of December, and the movie was supposed to come out early October, so that's also almost 3 months. So that kind of gives us a timeline of when we could probably expect more. But yes, usually when they compose, typically they have at least some kind of cut of the movie because they'll have the movie playing and the composer will have his orchestra and they'll make the music while the movie's playing with no sound so that they can, get a sense of the beats of the cuts and, things like that. So, and there's still more editing later, but this is how they record it. It's really a wonderful process. I've only seen 2 movies be scored in person and when I work at Sony, and it's kind of beautiful. They have a really nice stage there that's like insulated and with padding on the wall, like the ones I have back here, but like thicker, better ones that are really expensive. It's a really nice studio, actually. They rent space out other places too. At least 1 million is something. That's true. Yeah. I'm not saying that's bad. It's just not what they promised. All right, Zeke, I sent you the link to his channel. I sent you a live from yesterday. Hey, thank you. I will. I'll comment. I'll watch the video after this and comment on it. When do you expect a trailer for Venom 2? Abel, I don't know. I would say it's a hard question to answer. They have to figure out if and when they're going to release it for sure. Right now, obviously, it's planned, I think, for June 25th, but they have to make sure they're absolutely going to release it then. So I think that's why we only get a re-edited trailer for Morbius, because Morbius is supposed to come out in March, but they're not doing any marketing for it right now, except with that little bit they did in December, where Jared Leto went to some Tokyo. He sent a video to a Tokyo Comic-Con thing. So it's really hard to say. I would, if I had to guess, I would, or I should say, not guess, but I hope we get one in February. But I have no idea. I honestly don't know. I want Venom 2 to be loosely based on Maximum Carnage series. That's how much I love Maximum Carnage. It's a good story. I don't blame you, Drake. The Madness version could take place if Null's corrupted version of Venom. Yeah, I'd rather that than the spirals. Or maybe do one head with a spiral and all the little heads with eyes. That would look cool. Yeah, the story will not be adapted because that's a weird ass story. But just the visual of him with the other heads, I just love that visual. I don't get why they would think you are a socialist. Heck, Trump was the one that proposed it. That was my thought. I said, actually, this idea. I mean, yes, some Democrats brought it up, like in April or May of last year, but no one took it seriously. Trump like literally said it, so that's why I said, I go, well, I don't know. People are weird, man. People are weird with politics. They like their labels and they throw it at you, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. It's fine. They can call me whatever they want. It doesn't matter. Are you ready for Spider-Man 3? I've been waiting for Marvel Entertainment to drop this trailer for 2 weeks because they promised us a trailer for Christmas. Did they, though? They promised a Spider-Man trailer for Christmas? I don't remember that. Because we would have covered that on the show. Now that Spider-Man's tying into all this, if you notice this season, I talked a little bit more about Spider-Man than I've done in previous seasons. And next season, or the season after, I haven't figured it out yet, we might do the whole history of Spider-Man with the black costume. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man 3. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'm not a big fan of the multiverse idea because they already do that in Miles Morales, and I kind of like that as part of Miles's stuff. But yeah, we'll see. But the next, speaking of Into Spider-Verse, so we talked a little bit about Morbius. Spider-Man 3 is a good topic, but we did that in the previous episode too, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But Into the Spider-Verse to release its first image, they show a picture of Spider-Man 2099 from the end of the first movie. And they said, hey guys, we're like 1 year closer to 2022. And that's when Into Spider-Verse 2 comes out. And the first image they share is 2099. I think he's going to be a big part of the movie. So there might be some time travel elements going on. And I'm very excited for that. Spider-Man 2099 is a character I've been wanting to see made into something for a long time. Because I know a lot of people like Miles, but Miguel O'Hara was also, he's half Hispanic, half Irish, and I'm Irish, so I really always liked Miguel, and I want to see him be brought into some kind of movie or something. That would be cool. I want that to be Sony's Thanos event. Oh yeah, like the build up to Maximum Carnage. That would be cool. As I say, we're waiting on Tobey Maguire to sign a contract, but he wants more money from them, have a long screen time in the movie. Maybe he's done doing that because all the stunt work from, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I can't imagine if they bring him in, he'll do a lot of his own stunts. I mean, they'll probably just have a bunch of acrobats do all the Spider-Man stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really been following the Spider-Man stuff that much. I see a lot of headlines, but I don't know which of them are true. I feel like every website has made up their own. They always say exclusive. And then I look at the website and it's like, like thedirect.com, and I go, what the hell's the direct? I go, why are they getting exclusives? Like, maybe they are, but it's just funny to me. I'm like, I never heard of that website until like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. I think people like to say exclusive, and they put all these buzzwords in, and you go click on their videos or click on their articles, and you're like, there's nothing exclusive here. You're just guessing, just an asshole. What happens? I just want a Lasher in a movie. Oh yeah, Lasher. You're gonna see Lasher in the comic books again very soon. I think King and Black Planet of the Symbiotes #1 comes out next week, and you will see the 5 Life Foundation symbiotes, including Scream in that one, I think. Is there anyone you would like to see cast as Null on the big screen? I don't like Null, so no. I don't want to see anyone play Null at all. Zero people. So I don't think I'm not very good at casting. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. As far like I'm trying to think of Null. He's like tall with white hair. I don't know who could play that. I don't know. Because the thing I'm worried about is Null looking like Steppenwolf from the Justice League Joss Whedon movie, and that was terrible. He was like this tall CGI thing with a really weird looking face. So I don't know. I don't know who should play him. Who do you think should play him? Because I'm not very good at the casting thing. Hey, think I have a link script for the canceled 90s Venom movie. Do you think you want me to send you the link? Oh, I've read it. Is that the one with Dolph Lundgren was supposed to play him? And written by David Goyer. I've read that. And I think we talked a little bit about it on the show before. I never make a whole episode on it, but we did bring it up at some point. All right, Eddie's moving along to Gorr. The God Butcher is appearing in Thor: Love and Thunder, and now the Black Knight origin being retconned during King in Black is what got me thinking Null could appear in the MCU. So the thing with Sony is that they won't do anything big that's Spider-Man related in the MCU. So like they'll have Spider-Man in the MCU and possibly make a Sinister Six movie, but whether that ties into Marvel or not, they have to come up with a whole new contract. Like you have to understand that Marvel and Sony's are going film by film. They did have like a 5-picture deal in the beginning, but that's over. And you saw they negotiated for like 2 weeks, and there was like Tom Holland had to like call Tom Rothman or something and cry on the phone or something like that to get the contract to get signed. And that was just for this Spider-Man movie and one more appearance of Spider-Man in another MCU movie, which is probably might be Doctor Strange, actually, now I think about it. So to me, it all depends on that negotiation. So I don't think they're going to make plans for Null, who will tie into MCU stuff without already signing a deal with Marvel. So if you see Sony expand their deal with Marvel for 2 more films with Spider-Man in them, then yes, I would agree that we'll probably see Null. But I think what Sony's trying to do is use Marvel now, get the Spider-Man 3 movie out there. The director from Spider-Man is going off to Fantastic Four, which makes me think they won't make a Spider-Man 3. And they'll probably just bring Tom Holland into solo Spider-Man movies or put him in Venom 3 or put him in Sinister Six and not do MCU stuff with him anymore. And plus, do you really need him in the MCU anymore? I mean, Cap's not there. Iron Man's not there. I doubt he'll interact with Thor or Captain Marvel anymore. So, I mean, what do you really need him for? And what do you need Null there for? What's Null going to do? He's going to fight Captain Marvel and Ant-Man or something? It's like all the big guns are gone. It's like they're like, oh, we might bring in the X-Men now. I'm like, who cares? Like I want to see Wolverine interact with Captain America. I thought that was the whole point of having a shared universe. Now there's no Captain America for him to interact with, unless you do like a flashback scene in World War II or something where the Canadian paratroopers were sent in or something. But so I don't know. I don't think they have plans like that with Null and the MCU personally, which is why I think Gorr is not going to really have any symbiote connection. Like if you look at most of the villains in these Marvel movies, they change them completely. They're different. Like Ultron wasn't created by Ant-Man. He was created by Iron Man. Kang the Conqueror is going to show up in an Ant-Man movie, but he's kind of an Avengers and Fantastic Four villain. So they're just going to change everybody. So I don't think Gorr is going to be a symbiote thing, personally. I just think it's too messy of a thing for them. Without signing another deal with Sony, I doubt they're going to do that, personally. How's it going, dude? What's up, Bruce? Good to see you, man. I hope they don't do the multiverse. In my opinion, they're instead pulling well-known actors to do versions of Doc Ock and Electro. I mean, yeah, if Alfred Molina plays Doc Ock from the Tom Holland universe, because if you see J. Jonah Jameson is the same actor from the Tobey Maguire movies. It's J.K. Simmons. And we never see Jonah Jameson in the Andrew Garfield movie. So technically, it still could have been J.K. Simmons. So what I'm saying is maybe each of these movies, Peter and some of his closer supporting members change in age or in change looks and age and race and things. But maybe all the other characters are the same. So maybe Doc Ock is still in his world and it's Alfred Molina and he's older. And maybe there's still a Max Dillon, right? Isn't that Electro's name? Maybe there's still a Max Dillon out there and he looks like Jamie Foxx. So I hope it's that and not a multiverse thing. But then again, they are setting up the multiverse. You'll see when you watch WandaVision next week, they start setting up the multiverse. And then that will go into Spider-Man and then it'll pay off in Doctor Strange. So yeah, they got big plans for the multiverse. I kind of wish they didn't, but that's the future of some of these. They're going to have some characters go in a multiverse way. Some characters go into a space direction. And then they'll start introducing other things in the middle. I thought the Life Foundation symbiotes died after they became hybrid again and bonded with the Maker. They bond with the Maker, and then he gets them off him somehow, but I don't think they die. But I honestly can't remember, so I'll take your word for it. They probably did die. I don't remember a lot of Absolute Carnage, actually. I didn't really like that book a lot. I liked the first issue a ton, and some of the tie-ins I liked, but then none of the tie-ins actually tied in really and made any difference to the main story. So I ended up not liking that book very much. Do you know anything about Stephen Graham's character in Venom 2? I know that Stephen Graham posted a really great picture the other day on his Twitter and Instagram, where I think it was an Instagram story maybe. He's in really good shape, that guy. That's all I'm going to say. Spider-Man 2099 is underrated. Yeah, I love that character. He's great. Yeah, Scream is owning Lasher in the King in Black Planet Symbiote preview. Unfortunately, it looks like they're mashing the Life Foundation symbiotes. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a new version of Hybrid with Null possessing it. And it's got like a big mouth on his chest or something. I can't remember. But yeah, there was something. I saw that preview. Sony should focus on making good games with characters they have. Good games? I think they are. Well, they own the Spider-Man stuff now, so those are good games. I like the Miles game. I think some people didn't, and the sales were down on it, but I don't know what it is about Miles. I think Miles is actually a good character. Marvel doesn't do a lot of legacy characters. That's something DC does really well with like Nightwing. He was Robin, but now he's Nightwing, and Batgirl and Supergirl. Like, these are characters that can stand on their own, I feel. Marvel never really had a lot of that. So I kind of like Miles. I think he's a really good character for that. He's not always written well, but the potential for that character is there. And I thought the movie did the best version of Miles out of everything I've ever seen of Miles. That movie won an Academy Award, but it didn't make a lot of money. But I'm glad it's at least getting a sequel, and I hope more people see the sequel. And I was hoping the game would sell better to kind of make people, still hopefully see if he's still a viable business venture to pursue Miles stories in other mediums. But this game didn't do as well, which is a shame, because I really liked the new game. I thought, actually, at first I didn't like it, and I thought the story moved too fast. But by the end, I found myself really engaged with the characters, and I ended up really liking the Tinkerer character a lot more than I did at the beginning of the game. So I don't know. I wish Miles things did better. There's a new Miles Lego set. I almost bought it tonight. It's like $10, and it's Miles with the hoodie on from Miles from Into the Spider-Verse, and he's got like the hoodie on and stuff with the costume underneath, and he comes with a little mech that you can build. I almost buy it because actually the minifigure is really cool, and I thought it would look good on my shelf back here. But instead, I get a different Lego set. My mom gave me some money, and she said, "Hey, I want you to buy yourself something nice, because I might have helped sell a motorcycle." I have to wait. We have to see if the person is doing a trade, and they're going to get a new motorcycle. And I recommended them. They came and talked to me, and he came in last week. I talked to him, not last week, I think 2 weeks ago, when I was there and feeling well, and I could talk normal, because he noticed my voice sounded different. And so I talked to him that last time, like 2 weeks ago, and then he come in today, and I said, "Hey, if we're talking," I said, "I saved my head, but it's still me." And he said, "Oh, you sound different." I tell him why. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And he was there with his wife, and I was helping them look for clothes and stuff. And then he said, "I'm thinking about trading in my motorcycle." And I said, "Yeah, you mentioned that it's too tall for you, and you can't sit on it. He's getting older, so he wants something a little lower and more comfortable, and a little wider, so that him and his wife can ride it comfortably for like to take nice trips to the beach and stuff." And so I said, there's a salesman. We had a guy named Ryan, and he had COVID for like 2 weeks in December. He had to stay isolated. So once he got cleared that he didn't have it anymore, it was like 3 weeks later, he finally come back to work last week. And I could tell I was like, this guy probably needs a sale, because he missed like a whole month of work and didn't sell any bikes because he was sick. So I brought those people over to him, and he's like, "Hey, I think we're going to get the sale." He said, "Thank you for doing that." And so for doing that, they give me a commission from it, which is a pretty good one, actually. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. So I'm hoping that sells tomorrow, and that means I get a commission if it does. So that's pretty cool. I helped sell my first motorcycle. So Um, so my mom was proud of me. And plus, we got in the fight recently, and I think she felt guilty about it because I didn't do anything wrong, actually. My hearing goes in and out because of the concussion. I sometimes can't really hear anything, and sometimes I hear it's really loud. So I couldn't hear her on the phone, and she got mad at me for some reason. So I think she felt bad about that. So she said, "Why don't you buy a toy?" So I bought the Prowler from Into the Spider-Verse, the Marvel Legend Prowler, and I buy this Lego set that has a Ghost Rider, what's his name? Um, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, and Carnage. So I'll probably make a Ghost Rider episode on Sunday night, and we'll build it and talk. We'll do a live stream Sunday night, and we'll do a Ghost Rider live stream, and I'll sit and talk about it, and I'll bring some Ghost Rider comics out, and we'll talk about Ghost Rider on Sunday night. You need Spidey to interact with the F4. See, that is cool. I mean, that would be nice because I think that you're right. I think that's a good relationship there. But again, that's up to Marvel and Sony. That's not really up to us. Gorr is going to be lackluster without all black, but hopefully still imposing if they go that route. Yeah, Henry, I think so too. I think Gorr is going to be a little watered down. I mean, look at the Thor movies. I mean, everyone got so excited when they heard Gorr the God Butcher. They're like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to tie into Venom and Null and all these things. And I'm like, have you seen the other Thor movies? Like in the first one, he just fights Loki, his evil brother. And the second one, he just fights a random elf named Malekith, who has a very interesting story in the comic, but is so lame in the movie. In the third movie, he fights a Hela, who has a very interesting story in the comics and has a very lame story in the movie. So to me, I'm like, I don't know what you're expecting. Like, I don't know why everyone's hopes are so high for Gorr the God Butcher. They got a good actor to play him, but that doesn't really mean anything. So we'll see how they go. Did you hear that Rick and Morty are getting a Venom symbiote crossover? I did not. That's actually good. I'll have to look into that. If they do that, I'll do an episode on it. Hey, Jennifer, what's up? How's it going? Welcome. Happy New Year. Yeah, that's Electro's name. Max Dillon? Oh, man, I'm way behind on comments, aren't I? Siike, have you seen that video of George Lucas walking in the random documentary? I did. I laughed. Someone sent me that. It made me laugh. That was good. Why bring back that version of Electro? It was so bad. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's not that version. Maybe Max Dillon is just, in this world, hasn't become Electro yet. So you can retell his origin and do it better. But it's just the same. But he's the same. He looks the same as the other Max Dillon because he's the multiverse version of him. So I don't know. Maybe back in Ultimate Marvel Comics, Spidey and Wolverine did swap bodies by Jean Grey. Was the 2012 Ultimate Spider-Man? They used the Mutant Massacre instead of Jean Grey. Yeah, I remember Mesmero or something. Yeah, I remember that storyline where they switched bodies, and I thought it was gross. I thought it was really gross. Editorial makes most tie-ins not worth it. That's true. You're right. Which is why I get so mad because I saw Devin Lewis, who is the guy who edits a lot of the Venom stuff. I think he was like the group editor or something on Absolute Carnage also, and I thought those tie-ins, a lot of them were garbage. They stand fine on their own, but as far as part of the series, they were just tied in a very generic way. It was like, oh, the city's overrun. Okay, so just write a story where the city's overrun and this person has to fight symbiotes, and that's it. It's like that was the level of their creativity. And then I got really mad when Devin Lewis come out recently and say, hey, in King in Black, I want more tie-ins. This is a big event, and we should do more. Every time we do an event, it should affect every single book. And I'm like, don't you guys already do that? Like, I feel like there's so much going on right now. Right now, Iron Man has created a team with Hellcat and Scarlet Spider and Gargoyle and Misty Knight to go fight Korvac. But that's happening at the same time as King in Black, and King in Black's happening like a week after Empire. Like, man, the poor Marvel Universe. So I think Devin Lewis, he's probably a nice guy and good at his job. Since some of you tell me he's a really nice guy, but I don't know where his head's at when he says something like that, because I don't think more times is the answer to anything. It's maybe to get more money from people, but I'm like, I actually buy way less comic books now. I don't really like spending money on comic books. I buy Spawn. Every month they make 3 or 4 covers for Spawn. So it costs me, so once a month I spend about $15 on 4 covers of Spawn to get all 4 covers. I spend about $15. That's the only comics I've been buying for the past, I think, 2 or 3 months. Except sometimes on digital, if I get like an Amazon code or something, I will buy the latest issue of Spider-Man by Nick Spencer so that I can review the Sin Eater stuff. But that's in the Kindred stuff. But that's about it. The Spidey games are fun, but more of those would be fun, like superhero single player games. Yeah, oh yeah, sure. They should, yeah, for sure. But I don't think Sony owns all the Marvel characters, just the Sony Spider-Man one. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to play a Sinister Six video game at some point. I'd like that. Miles might stay in the MCU while Peter Parker in the Spunk universe, while Miles is the new Spider-Man. Oh, I don't know about that. Miles is a cartoon. There is a Miles that they kind of mentioned in Spider-Man Homecoming. Uncle Aaron is in it, played by Childish Gambino. He plays Aaron, whatever his last name is, and not Morales, I don't think, but yeah, because that's yeah, I don't think so. So anyway, so he plays Uncle Aaron, and he goes, I have a nephew that lives in this neighborhood. So we kind of mentioned Miles already. So I guess there is a Miles in the MCU, but we just haven't met him yet. I don't think they're allowed to say his name because Miles is a Sony character. Technically, by the contract they have with Marvel, they own Miles. So yeah, it's a weird contract with that. I'm telling you. Are you watching the WandaVision premiere on Disney? Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited for that show. Actually, the name took a while to grow on me, but I like those characters and I like the actors that play them. So I will definitely watch that show. Plus, Agatha Harkness is in it. Agatha Harkness is a Fantastic Four character, and she's played by a comedian girl. I can't remember her name, but yeah. So I'm curious to see what they do with Agatha Harkness in that show because that could be the foundations for Fantastic Four. Because she interacts with them a lot in the comic books. So I won't be able to do Sunday night. Sorry. Oh man, would Monday be better? Because I could probably do Monday. Actually, after the weekend, Sunday might be a good night to sleep, and Monday might be a better night to stream. So you let me know if Monday will work better for you. No, it would be perfect for MCU, a villain that's powerful and has no depth. Well, that's true, except Thanos had a little bit of depth. Not a lot, but I mean more than I thought he would. So a big character like that, they need to do Doctor Doom next. And maybe Galactus. Who gives a shit about Null? No one gives a shit. Put him in the Sony movies. That's the perfect place for him. Yeah, I got a Venom t-shirt for me to sleep with on my birthday. Thanks for the 16 thumbs up, everybody. Which was last Friday. It was Maximum Venom 1. Hey, Jay Money, happy birthday. Yeah, shout out to Jay Money. Happy birthday, dude. And Happy New Year, everybody. I know Woody Harrelson's Carnage, but I think he'd make a great Joker. That's interesting. I never thought of him as Joker. I always see him as a psychopath, though, because ever since what's that movie he did? I'm blanking on it now. Oh man, I forget. Maybe one of you remind me. What's that movie he did where he's like a brutal killer? Echo, stop. Speaking of Miles, why do you think Venom hasn't been able to get off a spin-off game despite being the original Spidey spin-off character and have more villains gallery than Miles? Well, Miles technically can inherit all of Peter's villains. I guess Venom could too, technically, but it just doesn't always work. Some characters work good with Venom more than others. I think Mr. Negative and Scorpion are good villains for Venom, but they've already been seen in the first game. So this game, I think they wanted to bring in things like Tinkerer and Prowler and things like that, and upgrade the Rhino, even though we see him before, but they upgrade him. Natural Born Killers, that's the name of it. Sorry, Natural Born Killers. The whole time I was thinking of that. Natural Born Killers is a good movie. So I always see him as a bad guy ever since that movie. He's good. I like Woody Harrelson. But yeah, I'm excited for him as Carnage. So yeah, that's what I think about Miles. It's like Venom is a household name. They realize that now, especially after the movie. So I have no doubt in my mind we will see more Venom stuff. I mean, look at how many toys we're already getting. And everything's Venomized now, and everything's nullified now. And like, I have a Fantastic Four box over there, Funko box. I bought a second one. And the first time I open one on the stream, I get Invisible Woman, but the invisible version. I buy this one because it was heavy. I was like, oh, it's the Thing. It's the Invisible Woman, but the visible one. So now I have both versions of the Invisible Woman. But everything is Venomized now. I mean, the Venom stuff is everywhere. I mean, that's the only way I can make 600 episodes of a show about Venom is because they keep putting out merchandise and stuff. So much so that I can't even afford it all. I can't afford the statues that they put out or the Mafex toys. And there's all these posters and prints that come out, and I cannot keep up. There's so much Venom stuff out there. So I think you'll see more Venom in other mediums again at some point, especially video games. No doubt in my mind, he's gonna be a big part of that Insomniac universe, probably starting with the next game, and hopefully a spin-off after that. That'd be nice. How do you think Eddie's character will have changed in Venom Let There Be Carnage? I think Eddie's a little more mature at the end of the first movie. And he's also a little bit more comfortable with the suit, and there's not a lot of fear between them or distrust. I think after they team up and sacrifice their own lives together to stop Riot and save the world, they build a form of trust that they didn't have at the beginning of the movie when the symbiote was eating Eddie and killing him slowly. I think they reconcile that by the end. So I feel like you'll get someone who's a little more mature and comfortable in his new skin when the movie starts. But then when he deals with something like Carnage, I think that'll be the thing that shakes him up. And I have a feeling normally in sequels, you saw it with Wonder Woman, they find a way to depower the hero. I have a feeling there will be a lot of Eddie without the symbiote in the next movie, probably. And you'll probably see the symbiote going to other people, I'm going to guess. So we'll see. I don't know. That's my theory. See, is that a Funko Pop poster or comic behind you? Yeah, that's a Funko Pop poster. It's a blacklight one. My brother bought it for me. It was a website exclusive for Funko. So my brother is on that website every day. So he saw that and he bought it for me. It was really nice of him. He's supposed to get a cameo or a special credit scene, supposed to, in the third upcoming movie. Who? Tom Holland? We'll see about that. Maybe, probably, maybe. I mean, tell you what, if that happens, people will be so excited. Yeah, WandaVision does look interesting. Yeah, people will really, that will be awesome. People will freak out. I think it's a smart move to put him at the end credit scene. I'm really waiting for Falcon and Winter Soldier and Marvel's What If. I'm waiting for those too. I think those are going to be great too. And I have high hopes for the Loki show. After I saw the trailer, I'm like, that looks like it could be good. Hey, you're welcome, J Money. Everyone arguing about the PG-13 or R rating when the UK is like 15 or 15 rating. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the UK, you guys are like, is it going to be 15 or 15? That's funny, though. What's up, Hotspot? How's it going? And Daniel, that's a good comment. You're right. What kind of Carnage-themed drink would there be to promote this movie? Yeah, well, they did what? Black Cherry with the first movie? Which didn't make sense because it made my lips red. And I'm like, wouldn't that be a Carnage drink? So I'll be really curious to see if they do another drink deal. And with the drink deal, like the first movie, remember that gave us our first look at Venom before we ever saw what he would look like. Because that image leak, remember we were wondering, is this real or not? I thought I was getting trolled. I was like, oh, is this a fake image that someone sent me? So we were like cautious when we posted a video on it, where I was like, this could be fake. I don't know. But it turned out to be true from Brisk, remember? Because I have the bottle right there. The bottle's right there. So I keep the bottle, yeah. So yeah, I hope they do another drink. That'll be awesome. I'll buy a lot more of it this time. Woody Harrelson as Freddy Krueger. Ooh, that's a good one. I wonder how they're going to get Flash Thompson to become Venom in MCU. I don't think they'll do that at all. Have you seen the guy who plays Flash Thompson? He's not going to be a good Venom at all. No offense to that guy, but he's like a little kid. He's like an actual little kid. When I saw him in that movie, I'm like, this guy picks on Peter Parker? Like, Peter Parker has some real self-esteem issues if this little skinny nerd makes fun of him all the time. Yeah, because what was the second movie had the Spider-Man second movie when they were in Europe, right? They did the Europe trip or something. There was like this tall, good-looking Asian guy who was like trying to get Mary Jane, or MJ, not Mary Jane. He was trying to scoop up MJ away from Peter. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's big and ripped and plays football. Like, or maybe he wasn't ripped or anything, but for a high school kid, he was big. And I'm like, everything he did in that movie to torment Peter, I was like, that guy's more Flash Thompson to Peter Parker than the kid who just live blogs his European trip and then calls Peter Parker Penis Parker. Like, yeah, nothing against that kid. I mean, I'm sure he's a good actor and all, but I don't know. I'm like, it's a weird choice for Flash Thompson. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna get Flash Thompson Venom. I'm sorry. I think Venom's gonna stay in the MC away from the MCU, and he's gonna stay in the Sony stuff probably. Because you also remember everything they do, Sony does with Marvel, they have to split the money. They have to split it, or there's some kind of division of the money. So neither company really makes a profit, really. They just kind of break even. If the movie breaks like $1 billion, because then they have to split that. So yeah, it's tough for them. So to me, anything you think, Null, Flash Thompson, like unless they can do it just in the Venom movies, they're not going to do. They're not going to share those profits with Marvel. They'll share Spider-Man, but they want Venom to be its own thing to make a ton of money. So from a business standpoint, it doesn't make any sense to put the symbiote into the MCU. No Miles, why not? Miles, I like Miles. I still have a full brisk at home. Do you complete? Don't drink that. I think by now the thing I noticed about that drink is that the food coloring was added last minute. So I think they make the label, they make the drink, and then the last thing they did was add the food coloring because that food coloring didn't have an artificial taste to it. Trust me, I drink like 5 of those things. I know I'm like my mouth would not be this red after 2 sips unless the food coloring was added way late in the game, which is kind of dangerous to do. It's not the best because you're basically just drinking syrup right down, like colored syrup. That's not very good for you. Not that soda's good for you anyway, or brisk tea is good for you anyway, but just it's extra bad. So I hope this time they take longer to make the drink and ferment them together of some kind, because yeah, that was not good. That was not good at all. The Flash Thompson casting was absolute worst casting. I mean, whatever. I don't. Once he came on screen and said, "I'm Flash," I was like, but you notice he never say his last name is Thompson. I don't think he just says Flash. So I'm like, and that's the thing. Marvel, they can't use the real names. They can call her MJ, but they can't call her Mary Jane. They can call that kid Ned, but they can't call him Ned Leeds. And I guess they can't call him Genki either. So it's such a mess over there. They can only say Adrian Toomes and Peter Parker and May Parker. That's pretty much their limits. And I guess J. Jonah Jameson now too. So yeah, they have limits there. His actor is Indian, so maybe use the Andrew Garfield Flash. I mean, I did like the Andrew Garfield Flash, but I mean, it's not about race. I mean, that kid, like I said, the Asian kid was bigger and more imposing, and he was more of a threat to Peter in the sense that he was also a good-looking guy who was a ladies' man, and he was trying to hit on MJ, and Peter was trying to hit on MJ. So he had the Flash Thompson storyline, but they just called him like Brad or something, or Brian. I can't remember his name, but I remember thinking like, why isn't this guy? Because Flash, he doesn't have to be a white guy. I'm not one of those people. I don't care if you change the race. It doesn't matter to me as long as they act like the character. But in that movie, I'm like, this little kid is not acting like Flash Thompson. He just calls Peter Parker Penis Parker. That's it. That's not really tormenting somebody. But that other guy who like took a picture of Peter when his pants were down, he was with that spy lady, and he was going to show that to MJ, to win MJ over. Like that's kind of shitty behavior that Flash Thompson would do. So in high school. So that's what I mean. That guy act like Flash more than the other kid did. So I don't really care about the race of the kid. I just think he's not act like the character that well. Do you think Woody will do the voice of Carnage like Tom does the voice of Venom? I hope so. That's something we say in a previous video. I hope so. I hope he does the voice the way Tom does the voice. I have a feeling it probably will. He'll probably will. But what will that voice sound like? That's what I want to know. Will it sound like a whisper? One thing I really like in the Spawn movie, had, Spawn cartoon. I don't think the movie did this too much. The Spawn cartoon, whenever the clowns show up, he could so demons can psychically talk to each other in Spawn, so they don't have to move their mouths, but it just eats up some of their energy that they have. So the clown would sometimes talk into Spawn's head, and you would just hear this whisper, and the whisper would echo. So it would be like, he's like, Spawn, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. It's like go back and forth like that. Yeah. So that was cooler. Like that was a cool effect. So will Carnage sound like that? Or will he sound like he did in the 90s show where he's like, hey man, like I'm gonna kill you, man, or whatever. Like so I don't know. I'm really curious to see how they do that voice. It'll be fun to see. Which is a blessing in disguise. I want the real MJ. Yeah, me too. That's how I feel. The girl's fine as that MJ, but Mary Jane is like, I don't know. I really like that character. I never really like her that much. I miss Gwen a lot. But Mary Jane grew on me over the years. And the reason I think a lot of times I don't like Mary Jane is because the time I read Spider-Man growing up, the writers weren't very good at writing her. So I think I never gave her a fair chance. But I do like how some people write her. Like, so I I see a lot of good in that character. Someone who's like free spirit and who's like a model and an actress, like that's such the opposite of Peter. I think that works. I think that actually works better now that I think about it from a character standpoint than Peter and Gwen. Peter and Gwen were compatible. They were both kind of nerdy. Gwen was cute, and she hung out with like the cool kids. Peter's he's a okay looking kid, but he just was a nerd and socially awkward. But as he becomes Spider-Man, he gets more confident. And I think he built himself up to be at the level of Gwen was at. And then they hit it off and they, fall in love. Mary Jane grew on me, though. I like Mary Jane. And I like the fact that she's not the type of girl that makes sense for Peter to be with on some level. But also being an actress and being someone in the spotlight, sometimes that means psychologically there is something in you that is not confident, and there's something in you that is lonely. At least in my experience with people who have that profession, there's an element of that. And so that makes sense that someone who secretly has that kind of personality and those traits would be a match for Peter Parker. So the more I think about Mary Jane, the more I actually like her as his significant other, and I really hope they get remarried in the comic books, actually. I really miss them together. It was the size of the actor that bugged me. Yeah, that's it, the size of him, yeah. Oh, sorry, J Money, I missed your comment before it get retracted, sorry. Hope Woody Harrelson and Naomi Harris will have great chemistry. I hope so, too. Naomi Harris is so beautiful. I have such a crush on her. And seeing that she's going to be in this movie, and I guess as Shriek, is it's going to be great. I want to see them as like a Bonnie and Clyde. That's what I want to see. I want to see them as like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, but ultimately one where Carnage can't be trusted, like she can't trust him. Maybe they're like, let's cause some destruction together. And then Carnage actually has bigger plans. He hears a voice from Clintar maybe, and it's Null or whatever version of the character they want to do. And maybe that ties back into the alien invasion story. I don't know. That could also be a good cliffhanger where Carnage does his own thing on Earth, but the symbiote is trying to connect to something out in space. Then the end credits could be Spider-Man cameo, and then mid-credit Spider-Man cameo, post-credit, you could see the planet Clintar. There was supposed to be the planet Clintar in the first Venom movie, but they delete the scene. I think, or maybe it wasn't planet Clintar. It was an asteroid that John Jameson landed on with his crew, and they pick up the symbiotes and bring them back to Earth with them. So that was a scene in the first movie. They cut, they storyboard it, but they never film it. I do, but I'm a sticker for comic accuracy. I mean, for me, you can't always be comic accurate. Some things work better on the page than they do in a moving scene. I never believed that before until I started working in movies, and I see that. And I see that because I work in movies, in animation, and in comic books. And there is a stark difference between the approach of each of those things. And translating things to screen from a comic book sometimes can be very interesting. The things that translate the best is emotion. So if a scene happens and you're like, oh, I know the emotion of the scene and what they're trying to execute with the character and the growth of the character, that works best to translate. But sometimes translating visuals and things and story points don't always work, I've noticed. Do you hear Chris Evans' voice of Buzz Lightyear in a Disney Plus movie? Oh, that's funny. No, I don't know if I hear that or not. That's cool. Buzz Lightyear, that'd be cool. Hope there's some reference to the Green Jello song in Venom 2. I know a lot of people say that. Daniel says, we might be in the coronavirus mess, but at least we can all look forward to Venom and Morbius. And I feel like Sony should release a teaser by April after making the fans wait a whole year. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great to get some kind of trailer, maybe even before. If Morbius still come out in March, then if we don't already have a teaser for Venom by March, we will probably get one then or a full trailer. They may just skip the teaser this time. I think if they do a teaser, they might do one this month or next month maybe. But again, they have to figure out if they're actually going to release the movie in June. Once they know for sure they do that, then they will. So it just comes down to that. And I'm sure they're meeting and talking about that every day over at Sony. Is this going to come out on time? Is Morbius going to come out on time? Do we need to push Morbius back to the Venom release date and push Venom back to like October or something? Does it make sense to do that? I think no. I think Venom's coming out on a good weekend in June where there's not a lot of other competition, not a ton of it. There is some, but not like a ton. So I think they have a good release date in June. I don't want that to move, but that's not my decision, obviously, so I don't know. Do I watch Shameless? I know. I've never seen that show. I think Naomi Harris is going to be a great streak. I think so too, Drake. Do you play Marvel Disney Infinite game? I did, yeah. I have the Venom figure. Yeah, I did. I've definitely, I love that game. That was really fun. I played it when it first came out and it was just Disney characters. And then when I heard a rumor that they were going to do Marvel, I got really excited. And I said, well, if they do Marvel, they'll probably do Star Wars after. So I kept playing the game. So I end up owning all 3 versions of Disney Infinite. And I played them a lot, actually. I played a lot. I leveled up a lot of characters, and I owned, I think, almost all of the little figures. Almost all of them, yeah. But that was fun because you could play as Venom in that game, which was fun. So, okay, so we talked a little bit about Morbius. You asked me some questions about Spider-Man. We talked a little bit about Gorr, the God Butcher. I just don't think he's going to be the character people want him to be, where he connects to a bigger story. I don't think that's going to be the thing. I could be wrong, but again, that causes a lot more conversations between Sony and Marvel. And I think Marvel they like the Spider-Man deal they have with just Spider-Man movies and a cameo here and there, but I don't think they're going to make a story revolve around Spider-Man in the MCU. I just don't feel like that makes a lot of sense. Anything they set up like that will just help Sony do what they want to do with Spider-Man. Because at the end of the day, that's what Sony wants. They just want right now, both sides are getting what they want. Sony's building a more, I guess, like a trusted brand. Even though a lot of people, there were people that did not like Venom, but it made a ton of money. And now with Andy Serkis, there's a lot of hope for the second movie, with Carnage especially too, and seeing him for the first time on screen, which we've always wanted to see. So there's a lot of hope for it. So it all comes on this second movie. If this second movie, it doesn't do well financially and people don't like it, who knows what that could do to the future of this shared universe. Like Sony has, look at Ghostbusters, like when something fails, they walk away from it or they do new versions of it or something. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see all that. Tom Hardy as Leatherface. Oh, that's good. I love Tom Hardy. He should play everything. I'm like Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith he loves Ben Affleck, and someone say like, oh, who do you think should play Daredevil? And he said Ben Affleck. And the director goes, what? Why? And he goes, oh, I think Ben Affleck should play everything. He says, even the shark in Jaws? And he says, yes, Ben Affleck should play the shark in Jaws. And so that's how I feel about Tom Hardy. It's like someone say, Tom Hardy should play the shark in Jaws. I'm like, yes, he should play the shark in Jaws. So, yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think we covered everything I want to talk about. We talked about Gorr, the God Butcher, a little bit about Morbius, a little bit about Venom 2, and a little bit about Spider-Man. I just want to do another video live stream where we talk about these topics because I don't really want to make a video about them. I know other YouTubers do where they make speculation videos about stuff. I'd rather just have conversation with you guys about it. To me, that's just a better approach for me. It's not, I mean, I guess on some level it's lazier because I'm not editing and doing visuals and things like that, but I do plenty of that in my other videos. This is just it's a conversation. This is the kind of, we are Venom, right? So this is something that affects the movie world and the movie shared universe. And it's just easier to just talk about it directly with you guys. And that way I can read your name and read your thoughts on it and get your thoughts into this video. And then I can respond to it. It's just a much better approach to that, I feel, than doing a pre-recorded video on it. I'd rather not spend the time on that. I'd rather spend the time hanging out with you guys and talking to you. So we will do another video on Sunday or Monday. We'll see how I feel Sunday. So just keep an eye out. Either Sunday around 7:30 p.m. or Monday around 8:30 p.m. So just keep an eye on my Instagram at Venom Vlog, or here. Just watch my community panel, because I might do less Instagram. I've been getting agitated with it lately. So on my community board on my YouTube channel, I make posts. They're like Facebook posts and they're like Twitter posts. So I'll post stuff on there sometimes. So I'll let you know on Sunday, like around 6, if I feel like doing an episode that night, I will. We will just build the Lego set of Ghost Rider. We'll do a Ghost Rider episode. So we'll build that Lego set and we'll talk Ghost Rider stuff and talk about some of our favorite Ghost Rider stories. And what maybe the MCU has planned for that character. Because I think with Blade, we might start seeing setups for characters like Ghost Rider, especially since his TV show got canceled. I think it's because Kevin Feige has an idea. And I hope we see the space and cosmic Marvel movies. And then we see the multiverse Marvel movies. And then we see the Midnight Suns Marvel movies. And you could do a movie on Elsa Bloodstone, not Morbius, he's going to be in the Venom universe. Elsa Bloodstone, Blade, and Ghost Rider would be really cool to see those characters. And then Doctor Strange, and you make the Midnight Suns. That would be pretty good. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Hotspot. Thanks, everyone who popped in here today. So, yeah, so either Sunday night or Monday night, we will do a Ghost Rider stream. And we'll try to do at least 1 or 2 of these Venom vlogs, lives, every month, and just talk about the movie universes. So any news that comes out that I feel are good conversation things, we'll do on these live shows. And we'll try to do like 1 or 2 a month starting this month. So this is our one this month. We might do one more by the end of the month. And then same with February and so on. So we'll try to make this a regular thing so I can always get your opinions on these movies and what you are excited for and what you like talking about. And maybe sometimes we might have a conversation where you guys say something in the comments and I go, oh, that's actually, I never thought of that. Maybe I can make a video on this topic after all. So that could always be a result as well. So for sure, we'll do that. And yeah, I mean, whenever trailers come out for Venom, we're going to do these for sure. I think I'll do a reaction, pre-record it and post it. And then like the next day, we'll do a live stream where all of you tell me your favorite moments from the trailer and we talk about it. I think that will be another thing we'll do on here for sure. Hey, Tariq says, do you think the Venom Let There Be Carnage would have felt rushed being released in October rather than in June? I mean, sure, of course it would have been rushed, but those people are professionals, and most people do know how to make a movie in the span of like a year and a half. I mean, that's pretty normal for them. To us, it seems very rushed. To them, it's typical, but having the extra time, I think they're all very grateful for, and hopefully that just leans to a better movie. Sadly, though, sometimes when you have too much extra time, you start rethinking things, and you start second guessing, and you say, hey, let's do some reshoots. And let's change some of these things. And sometimes you might mess things up. So it'll be interesting. I think they did some of their reshoots already. I was the only one that reported on that. When I was there on the set, I think I heard someone say, yeah, we're going to finish filming this week, but then we have some pickup shots or reshoots that we're going to do the last week of February before we leave town. And before we officially wrap. I think they probably shot some things in London that maybe looked too much like London, and they were like, maybe we could recreate some of those here in San Francisco. That's a guess. I don't know. And I don't know if I overheard correctly or not. I can't remember. But I think they did get some of their reshoots already done. So as far as I knew, this movie was ready to just edit and get going. So it just comes down to the cut they make. If they think they need to do reshoots, maybe they will now this month or next month. Since they have a little bit of time, they can do some pickup shots and they can maybe squeeze them into the movie, but it depends on what it is. But like I said, if you saw a picture the other day of Stephen Graham, he's looking pretty yoked. So I don't know if that's for a new upcoming movie that's coming out, or if he's just in the shape he was from the Venom movie. I don't know. So we'll see. But thank you guys. I'm the only one who feels like January is going by fast. I wish it would go by a little faster. There's a lot of crazy shit happening right now in January. When does Justice League Let There Be Snyder come out? I think in March. I think Snyder Cut comes out in March, actually. I'm sure I'm going to watch it. I just, I don't know. I'm not excited about it. Certainly not. I don't like his other two movies with DC. I like his other movies that are not DC, or The Watchmen, which was Vertigo. Well, I guess kind of DC Vertigo, but I like Watchmen. I like his other movies. I just didn't like his two DC movies. So, but I'm still curious to see. I'm like, I want to see what the guy's vision was. I'm just curious. Man, I'm a little curious about it. So, still haven't saw the first one. Oh, you haven't? Oh, yeah. The first one's it's like a fun bad movie. I had fun watching it, but it was really terrible. There's a lot of bad things in that movie. But anyway, I gotta go. The light's way overwhelming now, and I'm gonna call my mom and probably just go to bed tonight and lay down. So I appreciate you guys as always. I appreciate it. Hopefully my mouth starts clearing up over the next couple days or week. I will try to get a video up to you guys this weekend if I can. I just don't know. I mean, I did this one, so I don't know if I'll record another Venom vlog this weekend. I meant to, but I don't know if I will. So hopefully I do, and I get it to you guys soon. And by the end of next week, I will definitely have episode 600 up to you. And then we'll probably take a week off of Venom vlog, if not 2 weeks off, so I can work on my book some more. But we'll still do the live streams on here. And I'll probably still put a couple Ghost Rider videos up and a few other things. And then the second we start getting movie news again, I'll be right back into it. So we'll get there, guys. We'll have a lot of fun. But thank you, Eddie's Mullet. Thank you again for serving this country. I appreciate what you do, man. And everyone else out there who's watching, I really love you guys. Bye, swordsman. We are Venom indeed. And I will be back maybe Sunday night or Monday night with the Ghost Rider live stream where we build the Lego set. But we'll talk a little bit about Carnage because we have a Carnage figure in that Lego set. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll get back to more videos next week. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you all in the future. Peace.